Hello, fight fans. Bienvenidos. Welcome to another episode of More Than a Fight podcast. I am your host, Jose Alfredo Alcázar, and this is your co-host,
Juan?
and we have John behind the scenes.
Yes, sir.
And this is episode 16, if I'm not mistaken. And this is the recap of the weekend that was. Obviously, the big card, Canelo versus Triple G 3, the Triolgy, the end-all, be-all, and everything that went down from the main event down to the prelims. All right, Juanillo, where do you want to start?
I mean, Canelo boxed very well, I guess you can say that. Triple G started hitting Canelo once Canelo got tired. That's how I saw it.
Okay.
Canelo was too slick, too quick, too everything for the first 8 rounds. And as typical, he seems to slow down, man. His cardio, I don't know. That's how I saw it.
Right.
And then Triple G decided to be aggressive, and I'm sure he felt that Canelo slowed down and he could land, because at first he couldn't land at all.
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think Canelo's hand speed was evident, man. Like, it was evident who was the faster puncher, or his quick twitch or his reactions to the punches. And Triple G he looked 40 for the first 8 rounds, and then finally, at the end of the 8th into the 9th is when he finally turned it on. Maybe you're right. Maybe Canelo did get tired. I saw it as Triple G was conserving himself for the later rounds, the championship round.
I don't think he had a choice. I think Canelo was too slick.
Yeah. And they were also saying that do you see Loma leaving the event saying that Triple G was injured? He was only throwing his left hand.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah. They had him leaving after the fight, saying no, something was wrong with Loma's health. He only threw the left hand.
Oh, you're talking about Triple G, right?
I'm sorry, yeah, Triple G. But that's what Loma was saying.
Right.
Got you. Hey, well, Canelo says he needs surgery on his left wrist.
He couldn't even close it, right?
He says, I can't even do this. That's pretty much what he said. He can't even hold a cup.
But don't say that to Twitter, because Twitter says that's an excuse, and of course they are, and we'll get into that a little later. But anyway, I think my favorite part about this fight was definitely the end, the fact that they finally showed respect to one another, and they seemed to finally squash their animosity, their beef, whatever you want to call it. I was happy that they did that. I was happy that they came together and embraced each other, because they put on 2 great fights. The third one, the back end was great. I mean, how did you see the trilogy overall, Juan?
I wish it was more competitive at first for the first 9 rounds. They were very clear rounds who won. Canelo won the first 8 in my eyes. Triple G, first 9 actually. Triple G won 10, 11, and 12. That's what I saw.
Right.
And I saw it as Canelo slowed down. He just couldn't react or move or counterpunch like he was the first 10 rounds. Got tired.
I kind of agree. Like that conservation of energy. He just couldn't keep up with him for Triple G.
And it's not just because Triple G's 40. I think Canelo just, the way he was moving his waist the whole time, he doesn't have the quickest feet. We all know that. But every time Triple G did throw a punch for the first 10 rounds, he got hit right back. I mean,
yeah, it was
right. But this is a question to both of you, and I'll start with you, Juanillo, because maybe you misunderstood what I said. I said, how do you put the trilogy in perspective overall?
Oh, so I think Triple G deserved the first fight.
Agreed.
But Canelo definitely won the second in my eyes. There was no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one,
yeah,
it felt like the judges almost robbed Canelo because they almost had it a draw. I didn't even have it close to that.
Right.
So Canelo came out on top, sure. Triple G's 40. Regardless, I mean, it was no good for Canelo, I think, in my eyes. He won. If he didn't KO him, he can't KO an old man. If he happened to lose, I mean, damn, where does he go, you know?
I kind of agree with that. Like, it's more about, like, it should have been a dominant performance from Canelo.
I think it was.
I agree, but like people are saying like he should have finished him.
No one's ever dropped Triple G.
Yeah,
exactly.
We've never seen him wobbled. I mean, his chin is freaking top notch. Yeah, for the last 2 fights, you can tell. I mean, I think it was Murata. Murata hit him in the body.
Yeah, it was one of the
perfect.
few times you see Triple G wince.
Yeah. So I mean, and those punches come. It doesn't matter. He could have fought anyone and got caught. I mean,
Yeah, and the other thing that I knew was coming though, but I don't like that some people just don't even bother to think about is Canelo was throwing those punches with intentions to hurt and knock Triple G out, and a few times, and I'm not surprised at the end. I think at the end I was validated when Triple G would go down to the body to block the punches. His elbow got in the way, and Canelo was throwing those punches with bad intent. So if you're throwing a punch with all the force or with intent to hurt, and you catch an elbow, your hand's going to get hurt. So I can see legitimately as to how he hurt his hand. Obviously, Twitter and all these people that just don't like Canelo and will never give him credit are going to say, oh, that's an excuse, blah, 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 blah. But if you're actually a boxing person, a person who respects the sport and understands that when you throw a punch with force and you hit something like an elbow or something that's that somebody's covering up, you're going to have some kind of reaction to your hand or your wrist. Something's going to happen there. It's an impact. It's friction. I mean, half these people don't stop to think, but they don't care to think. That's the problem.
I guess if you're doing good, you're gonna have people that don't like you. I mean, a lot of Mexicans don't like Canelo.
Oh yeah,
he's too cocky.
But even then, I want to touch on that because John wasn't aware of the dislike that Canelo generates. Because remember, we talked about that before the fight, or maybe it was during the fight.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, well, you're comparing him to Floyd Mayweather and how hated he was. And so I was just saying it was a bit much of a comparison. But no, after this weekend, like the stuff I saw on Twitter when I was like trying to find this stuff, right? it was literally like Canelo's washed because Triple G's washed and he should have finished him in the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't even give him credit for it was a dominant performance. You know, it's just, no, he's washed because the other guy's washed and he didn't finish. It's silly.
Yeah, it's dumb. People forget, but then even saying it, styles make fights. But there's people that just don't like the man, so there's no talking to them about styles make fights or why this trilogy was as close as it was, why Gennady Golovkin and Canelo were almost mirrors of each other from the way they fight and the way they take punches. Both guys have granite chin. As much as we want to give G credit for taking shots, we need to give Canelo credit for taking shots. We've never seen both guys, and even in the Bivol fight, Bivol was the bigger man. He took it to Canelo, and Canelo was never really in danger of being knocked out.
Which gas for sure.
Which says a lot about his chin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens next? Though, okay, Triple G still unified at 160.
They automatically assume that Bivol is going to win in the post fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's go with G first.
Yeah. So Triple G. Yeah. Let's see what happens next. So he's still a champion at 160. He says he wants to keep on fighting. Who does he fight?
And when?
Hopefully,
I think if I'm PBC, I want to fight Gennady Golovkin in December. I do not wait for 2023 because then you're giving him time to rest. Does that make sense?
It does.
So if you're going to put, I'm assuming Charlo, because that's the one guy that they have always, I don't want to use the word protected because then I'm going to get a lot of blowback, but the guy that they've groomed, let's use that word. I want to see Gennady Golovkin and Jermall Charlo in December because, like, again, if I'm the PBC, I throw money at Gennady Golovkin because what a lot of people don't know is that this was Gennady Golovkin's last fight with DAZN. So now Gennady Golovkin is a free agent of sorts. So if you're the PBC, you have Jermall Charlo sitting there with a title at 160, and you just saw Gennady Golovkin go through 12 hard rounds of where he took a beating for the most part against Canelo. This is the best time to put him in with Jermall Charlo, or what do you think?
I agree. That's what I want to see.
Oh, I want to see it too.
And Jermall Charlo hasn't fought in a while, so
he hasn't fought in over a year.
He's due. So make it happen. And we'll see if Gennady is as washed up as everyone says.
Exactly. That's the other part.
What about Lara?
No. Yeah, I agree with Juan. I don't want to see him fight Lara.
I don't want to see Lara fight anyone.
Because Lara, I think, will do what he has to do. Let's give Lara credit. Lara has changed his fighting style in order to stay relevant. And he's had to fight a style that he doesn't want to fight, which is stand and trade. But he's done it because he wants to prolong his career and he wants to make money. That's just a fact. Those go hand in hand. I would prefer to see Gennady Golovkin against Jermall Charlo. And then all these fans that want to say Gennady Golovkin is washed, when G knocks out Charlo, because I believe he will. I think he knocks him out in 10 rounds at most. Under 10. I'll call it under 10.
All right.
Because he's been inactive over a year, but you're fighting a 40-year-old, so it offsets, right? Plus, he's washed, according to all you fans out there on Twitter. Apparently, it was a sparring match, according to all you fans on Twitter. So let's get Jermall Charlo in there. Jermall Charlo should be able to knock him out, right? He's washed. Sparring session? Okay, then. Let's do it.
Can't wait.
I hope it happens in December, too. Let's not wait till 2023. Make it happen this year.
Let's go.
With that being said,
well, what about Canelo's future?
Exactly.
Well, he claimed. Well, they were saying that his surgery might keep him out for a year.
I hope not. Yeah, that's a while. That's a long time, man. That's until December 2023. I mean, I'm sorry, September 2023.
Yeah.
I hope
let's
not.
Let's see what happens to his wrist.
But even then, who would you come back? Let's say that's true. Let's say he stays out until 2023 of September and comes back Independence Day weekend, just like he did this year. Who could he possibly fight after coming off of surgery?
I mean, if Dimitri Bivol wins, he's going to want Bivol.
After surgery? After being inactive for a year?
But he needs a tune-up?
I hate to say that, but yes. I mean, you need somebody that's not Bivol.
So Benavidez.
Because we all know what Bivol is now, I hope at least.
Benavidez.
What the hell? John, he's just as tough as Bivol, if not tougher.
No, fuck that. He doesn't take easy fights. Fuck that. Let him fight either one. I hope he takes one. He says he likes challenges, right?
Yeah, that's true. But hey, and on that note, I want to make sure I point out, at the end of the fight, Chris Mannix was interviewing Canelo, and he asked him, who do you want? Who do you see in your future? He mentioned the rematch with Dimitri Bivol, and he said it's for legacy. Nothing to do with titles. For legacy. And I point that out because I have an issue with a certain podcast that had a certain headline and called it Cherry Pick Gone Wrong. Canelo made it clear he wants to fight Dimitri Bivol again. And this certain podcast is headlined by boxers. Some of them are Hall of Fame boxers, boxers who I respect, but I'm not talking about their career as fighters. I'm talking about their career as podcasters now, or media pundits, whatever you want to call them. You're going to call it Cherry Pick Gone Wrong, and he goes after this guy that beat him a second time, then what are you going to call it now? What are you going to say now? He said he wants Bivol. Should he beat Zurdo? Even if he loses to Zurdo, I would think Canelo will still look for that fight to avenge that loss. And if it happens, but here's the problem, Juan, and you tell me if I'm wrong. If he does take Bivol in a rematch, but it happens at 168, what do you think people are going to say?
He drained him.
Exactly. But we all know that Bivol is more than capable of making 168 without any problem. But that's what's going to be said. He drained him.
I think Canelo wants it at 175 though. I'm pretty sure.
I hope so.
I don't think he wants to risk his belt and be beltless either, just in case. No.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay. But I think Canelo's in that spot again that Floyd was in, where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. People are going to like you and people are going to hate you. And I think Canelo knows that now more than ever.
Frustrates him, as you see on the press conferences.
Absolutely.
Now. If people do ask him those questions, he freaking gets pissed.
Yes. The post-fight interview, if you watch it, he basically said, I'm done. I'm pissed off. I don't want to answer these questions anymore, because they kept asking him about Benavidez. They kept asking about is he going to continue this? I don't want to fight Mexicans. And he keeps saying his rationale is, I'm representing Mexico. I'm trying to put Mexico at the highest point possible. These guys are Mexican. That doesn't help me put my country where I want it to be. And of course, a lot of people are going to say that those are excuses. But again, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Canelo is always going to have haters, and then people who like him, and then people who are not going to give him credit, and people who give him credit. That's just how it is, unfortunately.
It is what it is. If you're on top, if you don't have haters, something.
Yeah.
Let's move to the next fight, though.
Yes. Co-main?
Yep. So, I mean, this year's possible fighter of the year, Bam.
Jesse Bam Rodriguez.
Yeah. Well, his story was, right, he was a late replacement.
Yes.
It was a vacant belt at 115. He moved up one drop 2 weeks or a week before.
Yes, to fight none other than Carlos Cuadras of all people.
Yeah, he's beat Sor Rungvisai before. He fought with Chocolatito, and that was a very tough fight. He fought Estrada, so I mean, he was no joke, and that was for a title. And this guy fights at 108. They offer him a shot at 115 with 1 or 2 weeks notice, and he pretty much embarrasses Cuadras. Brought him out, man. Coming out party, nice, and you could tell he's much smaller than the other guy there too.
Oh yeah, then Gonzalez, Israel Gonzalez, yeah. But no, we were what we were hoping for happened. As far as Israel Gonzalez coming out and going, this is my shot. This is where I can generate a name for myself or steal the spotlight. And he almost did. He looked great.
He's only lost to the top tier. He's
Yes.
fought for a title a few times, and he's been competitive every time, but he hasn't been able to beat the champions. So
yeah, and it was much closer than I think people thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah.
Especially with the 1 point.
Yeah, no, Bam.
Yeah, a lot of questionable low blows. I felt some of them.
Well, this is the weird one. The next one where the ref didn't rule it as a low blow,
but it really was, right?
But it wasn't ruled as a knockdown either.
Yeah, that was very weird.
It was just like, just get back up.
Just get back up and keep fighting.
I think that was the 9th round where it happened.
Yeah,
because it was in the later rounds for sure.
Yeah, but the challenger did win a few rounds in the beginning.
Right.
He was keeping good distance. He was throwing from far away, and it took Bam a few rounds to figure him out.
Oh no, but Bam was taking a lot of shots, man. Gonzalez was being smart, and every time Bam would throw, he would throw, or he would, as soon as Bam was done throwing, then he would come back with a combination.
Smart fighter, great fighter too.
But no, Israel Gonzalez did exactly what Argy Cortez did against Estrada, and he gave him all he could handle.
You know what's kind of crazy about that Israel Gonzalez? This is his 4th title fight. You know, they just keep bringing him back because he's a great fighter.
Because he keeps winning. No, he keeps
this
winning.
Was his 5th, no?
No. Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, but either
John
way,
probably looked it up. But he keeps winning. He's only lost to the champions. Once he moves up to he wins 4 or 5 fights, and he's ready to fight for the championship again. And that's the fight he loses. But he's always competitive.
Yeah, exactly. Keeping it close.
Hey, you never know, man. He's only gonna get better, and maybe next shot he gets, he wins.
Yeah, like Israel, I think it's 26 or something like that.
He's young, man.
And then Bam Rodriguez is 22, youngest champion. So yeah, really young guys. We're gonna see him around for a while.
Can Bam go up higher though? That's the question because he's little.
I don't think he can.
Nah.
I mean, he gave Gonzalez all Gonzalez could take. I mean, Bam was doing. Like when Bam would have his spot, Bam landed the cleaner punches, beautiful uppercuts, and even when they were in close, he would jab him, but clean jabs. Then he would catch him with right hands. He hit Gonzalez with everything. Gonzalez took it all. So I don't see how Bam can move up to 118 and hope to hurt people at 118. Yeah, I think 115 is his limit.
Yeah, because Gonzalez was pretty big for the weight too.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, John?
Well, I was gonna ask, like, how big is Israel Gonzalez comparative to other 118?
Well, what was the 115?
This was
what I'm saying is, I don't think
but
Bam
at
can move up to 118.
Yeah, like everybody's too big.
Yeah, like Chocolatito, like really too. He's the same size as him, and they started at 105. I want to say like minimum weight, and I mean there's not many there, and they keep going. But 115, they're small guys compared to most of the competition.
Yeah.
And I think Bam will fight the winner of Estrada and Chocolatito in December.
That'd be great. I can't wait.
I don't see how they don't make that fight next sometime in 2023, even May.
Right.
May 5th, since Canelo will probably be out. You find either they'll headline or you figure out a headliner.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.? I'm kidding.
Can't even sit ringside.
All right, now let's go to the next fight.
After that, we had Gabe Rosado.
Yep, and Akhmedov.
I mean, Rosado's been getting better. I mean, he gets better every fight, but I mean, poor guy does not get they don't throw him a bone, man. They just give him the best of the best, and I mean, he'll gladly take it because I mean, he feels like he can beat everyone. props to him, but
he gave Akhmedov all he could handle.
He gave him all he can handle.
But Akhmedov looks slick, though.
Yeah.
Strong, too.
But with that being said, and this is respect to Rosado, at the end of the at the beginning of the 10th, Akhmedov's corner told him, don't trade with him. Don't get stupid. Stay with the game plan, because they know how dangerous Rosado is. And that's out of respect to Gabe Rosado. And that's why I give a little more credit to Jaime Munguia, because people will always point at resumes and they'll go, who has he fought? And if we're going to give Gabe Rosado this much respect, we also got to give Munguia respect for beating Gabe Rosado, and vice versa. And I only bring that up because people always tend to point at, he fought this guy, he fought that guy. Gabe Rosado is always going to come to fight. And this was another example. Akhmedov won the fight, no doubt, but he knew he was in a fight.
Yeah. Well, hope to see Rosado again. Hopefully he gets back to his winning ways. And you mentioned Munguia. He doesn't have an opponent, man. I hope they find something.
So, yeah, where does that put Akhmedov? Because it's like,
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Akhmedov is going to be coming up here, you know? That's a decent name to take under, is Rosado.
This was at 168, right?
Yeah. Ooh.
Akhmedov versus Morel, maybe? No, I don't know.
Canelo? When he comes back?
Nah, it's not Canelo yet. He's not there yet. But
no.
I mean,
they'll find somebody.
The other Kazakh guy that Boo Boo didn't want to fight. Is that at 160? I forgot his name.
No, that was at middleweight. It's a middleweight.
Yeah, so I mean, there's options, and he's gonna get up there soon because obviously they put him up here just to try to showcase him also. So.
Well, what? Better Beef is 175 only.
Oh, Beck also. Better Beef is 175.
Yeah, Beck the Bully's at 168.
Beck the Bully that should have beat Rosado but got caught is at 160.
Ooh.
Got knocked out because he holds his hands down.
Got a little too cocky.
That might
Caught
be
a lucky shot.
Fucking puts his hands down. Watch him. Okay, then we had Emma Williams and Kieron Conway. And this turned out to be a lot closer. Well, it was close in certain spots. I was upset at the end of the fight for the simple fact that it could have been a lot better had Kieron Conway stepped on the gas in certain instances or been more aggressive, because no doubt the more skilled fighter was Emma Williams. And I did not know that Emma Williams had a limited amateur background. Only 47 or 48 fights. Not 50. I know he's under 50. It's either 47 or 48 fights in the amateurs. And Kieron Conway had a much more extensive amateur background. But Emma Williams only started boxing professionally, I believe, when he was 19. Or started boxing when he was 19, period.
Good stuff.
So the fact that Emma is as good as he is with a short career that he has is impressive. But Kieron Conway was landing effective shots. He was jabbing well. He would land here in the pocket at times. After the 5th round is when Conway started to pick up a little. But with that being said, he wasn't as aggressive as I would have hoped he would have been, especially landing the shots he was landing. He was jabbing well, landing a few right hands, even throwing some body shots. But he didn't press. He didn't go after Emma Williams the way he should have and could have. And I kept saying when I was live tweeting was, you're on American soil. You are the guy coming from out of the country to fight somebody who's technically in their backyard. Attack. Press him. You're hitting him. Do something. But Conway just was too, what's the word I'm looking for? He was just too timid. Didn't want to attack. Well, I didn't understand it.
I didn't watch it, but I'm assuming Conway.
I saw part of it. I think part of it was because Williams is kind of wild and like a little bit straight. Because Williams was like talking trash during the fight. Like,
counterpunching, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Conway held back. He got caught a few times when he went in. I didn't watch it, but that's my assumption.
He got caught a few times, but again, I don't know how Conway's corner didn't see that Conway was landing shots. That was pushing ammo back at times even. Why they didn't tell him in his corner? Maybe they did. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to the corner. Why didn't they say, you're landing shots on him, you're pushing him back. Now press him. Keep the pressure on him. Make him feel your power. Make him feel your size. And I don't know why he didn't do it. And I know I saw a couple UK fans tweet back at me going, I agree with you. I don't know why he didn't press more and attack him and really put him on the back foot, which is what I thought Conway should have done. And this is why Conway has lost split decisions in the past, in my opinion, because he doesn't seem to have that instinct of, I got this guy, or I can hurt this guy, or I found something. He just doesn't seem to realize it. And that's where boxing IQ matters, when you know you have something against your opponent. And I hope to see Conway again. I hope I'm not being too harsh on him. Just I felt like he could have done more, and he just didn't.
We'll see him soon.
But props to Emma Williams, and he keeps looking impressive.
Yeah.
And let's hope he keeps climbing, and maybe he gets a title shot in 2023.
Let's go.
Third. And then a couple of the undercards.
Yes,
right?
prelims.
So we have Pacheco versus Corrales.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Collazo.
a big boy. Yeah, Collazo.
Oh, sorry.
Collazo, no?
Yeah, Collazo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Enrique.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and Enrique gave it his all, but yeah, that when he got caught.
Yeah.
Well, before the fight, I was excited because it sounded like the commentators were talking up, or what they were just paraphrasing what Enrique Collazo was saying, or Collazo was saying before the fight, saying he never gets this opportunity. He always gets passed over because he's deemed a dangerous fighter, or he has an awkward style. So I'm like, okay, this guy's going to be a problem for Pacheco, and he's going to bring the fight to him. And then it turns out he really didn't do that.
Pacheco's leaving himself open,
Pacheco
man.
exactly, that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, at some point in time, Collazo's going to show what he's got. He's going to take the fight to Pacheco, but no, he didn't. He sat back, and Pacheco did what he does. He landed those right hands, went to the body a few times, and ended up knocking him out. And Pacheco keeps looking impressive. He's 168 pounds. He's only, what?
He's young.
20?
I know he's young. I don't remember, but he's
I don't
want
to say 9. I feel like he's 19.
19 or 20, but
yeah.
Hopefully he works on the defense a little bit because it was a little too open.
But that's what we said about Rayo. And the reason we bring up Rayo is because both of them are with Team Benavides, the camp. They're both trained by Jose Benavides Sr. And I agree with Juan. I felt like at times Pacheco was open to get caught, and I was just waiting for Collazo to catch him, but it never happened. Granted, I wasn't getting hit by Pacheco, and obviously I'm assuming he hits pretty damn hard based on the fact that Enrique got knocked out. And this takes Pacheco to, 10-0, 8 knockouts?
No, 16-0.
Oh, shit, my bad.
16-0, he's 21 years old.
Oh, 21, okay, thank you.
Oh.
But no, I think he's the future, not only at a super middleweight, but
higher, because it seems like he's
light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Because he's big enough, young enough, that he's going to make 175 without a problem.
Yeah.
But he still needs to go step by step. No Ali yet. The other guy that fought Ali Akhmedov or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Not yet. Was that
and
it
then
on the card,
we
or was
had
there another one?
The other undercard before this was Marc Castro against Jesus.
No, Kevin Montiel.
Kevin, I'm sorry.
Montiel,
You're right,
yeah.
Kevin Montiel.
Unfortunately, I was at work. I didn't catch this one.
I caught this one too. I'm glad I did. Because Castro's been fighting on these undercards of DAZN where they have a main card and they put him on the prelims, but he keeps impressing, and this was his most impressive fight to date.
Yeah,
because
nice little knockout.
Montiel
round 5
had just been re-signed by Sanfer, and then I was like, okay, so he must be good if Sanfer re-signed him. They re-signed him for a reason,
Nice
and then
uppercut.
Castro just laid him out.
Well, was that an uppercut or was that just a right? Because he threw it like
No, it was
right
an uppercut.
here. Yeah.
It was an uppercut. Wham!
Damn.
Da madre, he laid him out. Yeah, Tony Weeks right away. He's like, nope. But Castro was dominating the fight. He was boxing well, using his reach, because his reach is deceptive. They were pointing it out. But I didn't realize that how long his arms are. But Castro keeps looking good. I hope they put him now in like the main card for whatever the next card is, which I'm assuming he'll fight again in December, because why not? You're young. You didn't really take any damage. No. Why not fight on the undercard if even Estada and Chocolatito?
Agreed. I hope
December 3rd.
Against another name, someone we know too.
Yes, it would be nice to see him against somebody.
What is he? 135? 130?
130, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Just put him against Navarrete, dude. Let's see what he's made of.
Oh, no. No seas
I'm
mamón, no seas mamón.
kidding.
Hold on. Fucking Navarrete just knocked out Baez, and Baez gave him all he could handle.
Baez a beast.
And then the
also.
last fight we wanted to touch on the prelims was only because it was two up-and-coming prospects, and they were both undefeated.
Yeah.
On the left, we had Fernando Molina, and on the right, Aaron Aponte. And these dudes went. They did a lot of give and take, but I felt Molina, for being the smaller guy, the guy who didn't have the reach or the height advantage, I thought he beat Aponte, which tells me that Aponte, unfortunately, I feel like was the favorite as far as like which prospect you want to win, because they were both undefeated. But I think Matchroom has Aponte. I don't know if they have Molina also.
Yeah.
But
so I saw that Xander Zayas was with Aponte. They know each other. They train together. I don't know, but I know Xander Zayas was with him most of the.
Yeah, I didn't agree with the draw. I thought Molina won the fight. Based on what I saw, I thought Molina won the fight because he was a lot more aggressive, and Aponte was trying to box even in the last two rounds when it was clear Molina was landing the cleaner punches.
Right.
Aponte was still trying to keep him at a distance, not being as aggressive, and Molina was coming after Aponte. And again, to me, if you're pressing and you're landing clean shots, not just pressing, because even if you're pressing but you don't land clean shots, doesn't mean that you are the better, that you should get the 10 points if it's a 10-9 round. Just because you're pressing doesn't mean you're winning the fight. You know, that doesn't translate to cleaner punches. I thought Molina won, but it was a draw. I think we all know why. The prospect got the benefit of the doubt. Right. And I hope we see a rematch or, you know.
I think it'll be a rematch.
Something like that.
Yeah, so is that it for today?
Yeah, I think we covered all the bases, and I got a little bit of my rant out, and I'll probably do a little more later in the week.
We'll be back Tuesday or Wednesday. Joyce Parker, Shakur Stevenson,
and we'll touch on UFC Fight Night as well.
Yeah.
Forget about
There's not going to be any UFC till October.
So watch it on Tuesday. It seems to be a promising card.
Yeah, we're going to cover
a little bit of
September. That. Only Contender Series.
Yeah, only Contender.
Interesting.
Okay. And then, of course, for boxing, we'll touch on Shakur.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great fight. And I didn't even realize it was on a Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, old school.
Yes,
let's go.
Yeah.
So and what should they do?
Yeah, please comment, like and subscribe, more importantly, and hit the little bell, because we're posting as often as we can, and hopefully
and we appreciate the comments we've gotten. Thank you guys for the feedback, and we're working hard.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Just bleed.
We'll see ya.